Hey everybody, Hatcher here with gaming news, reviews, and tips, G.N.R.T, and today we're in the back seat of the cockpit of the F-14 Tomcat, and what I'd like to do is go over the Rio startup procedures. And as per usual, I have made a kneeboard here, so I definitely would recommend, if you're interested in doing this, download my kneeboard or somebody else's kneeboard just to help you learn to go through the normal startup process. So I've got my kneeboard broken up into 4 different segments. The first segment is prior to aligning the INS. The second segment is showing you how to align the INS. The third segment is what you can do while the INS is in alignment. And then the fourth section is what you do after the INS has aligned. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we need to do is get the hot mic started. Hot mic is right down here. We've got it turned on. Now we've got to radio the ground control and get power and air connected.
Chief, turn on the ground power. Copy. Chief, connect ground air supply. Ground power is now on. Copy.
Once power and air are set up, we can go ahead and continue on. So we get the WCS to standby. Need to turn liquid cooling on. That's over here by your left arm. Set that switch forward. You can't read it. Data link power, I like to turn on right now. And then just ensure that your cap category down here is, if you go to nav, make sure that you're set to your own AC. Next, we need to go through and align the INS. We're on to step 7. Now, there's 2 different alignment procedures depending on if you're on shore or carrier. Obviously, we're looking around here. We can see we're on shore, so we're going to follow the shore-based setup, meaning we actually have to input the latitude, longitude, and altitude coordinates for our current position without moving the airplane. So you can see that our current latitude is north 43.26.9. So we need to put this in with the cap computer. So we're going to go ahead and clear and go latitude north and 43.26.9. 43.26.9. Double check 43.26.9. Enter. Now we need to go ahead and put in the longitude, which is 39.56.7. So clear, longitude, east, double check, 39.56.7, 39.56.7, double check that's correct, it is, enter. Next, we need to put in our elevation, so 104 feet. So again, we start with clear, we go to our altitude button 4, and now you can see our altitude is set here. We want to set a positive altitude or positive elevation. So that's by pushing the cap northeast button. And now we want 104 feet. 104. Double check it's right. It is. Enter. So now at this point, we have input our units for the shore-based INS alignment. Now we need to set our nav mode to ground. This is the very last step of step 7. So here's the nav mode switch. We're going to set it to ground. And what's going to happen is over the next 8 or so minutes, this little caret is going to be moving along this tape. When it gets to the end and it's a diamond with a dot in it, the INS is fully aligned. If we take a look on my kneeboard here in section number 3, these are all things that can be done while you're waiting for INS alignment. So first we need to arm the ejection seats. Pilot ejection seat armed. Rio ejection seat armed. We need to close the canopy. Canopy is closing. Steps 10 through, well, really to 19 is working our way through the cockpit from our left elbow all the way through to our right elbow. So, turn on oxygen. Right here. Then we need to go ahead and turn on our TAC can to transmit and receive. Then we have the VUHF. We also need to transmit it or set it to transmit guard. That's 2 clicks. Next, the SAI, backup altitude, we need to uncage. and make sure that it is set to the horizon, and there it is. Continuing around, we want to turn on the IRTV on. And now we're over onto the right-hand side. So we need to turn on the RWR. Our data link is on. Turn the DECM to standby. Once we see the standby light go off, then we can continue to adjust the DECM, but at this point we'll just leave it there. We want to turn on the ALE39 to manual so that we can make sure that we can use our countermeasures if we need to. I like to make sure that the flare mode is set to pilot. That way the pilot can go ahead and use his flares if he'd like to, or dispense flares if he'd like to. IFF, identify friend or foe, we want to turn that on. And now we'll just go back and make sure that we've done all of these here. We've turned on the oxygen. We've set the TACAN to transmit receive. The UVHF is on transmit guard. The SAI is on and set. IRTV is on. RWR is on. DECM is set to standby. And the light is still on. The ALE is on. Flare mode is pilot. IFF is on. So now if we take a look back here, we're only about 33% or so of the way through the fine alignment. So I like to take this time to set my waypoints if you have waypoints to input and to set in my home base point. I'm going to give you a quick show of how to do that. If you want to set in your waypoints, you set the cap category to TAC data and then just go ahead and select waypoint 1 and then use the cap keyboard to input the latitude, longitude, and elevation if you need it in here, and then press enter just like we did before, and that will set your waypoint. You can do that for other waypoints as well, and if you want to set your home base, same thing, just highlight it here and then set your home base. Okay, taking a look at the TID, you can see that the fine alignment for the INS is completed here. We've got our diamond with the dot in the center indicating that the INS alignment is complete. So at this point, we can go to our last section, which is set the navigation mode to INS. So that's done with a right click here. So you want to go from ground up to INS. Then we also need to set the data link mode aft. So in this case, it's already set aft because we weren't on the carrier. If you were on the carrier and you were getting your automatic location in, this would have been switched forward to the Canes waypoint data switch. So you want to make sure it's back. And if you're going to use AWACS, then you go ahead and put the AWACS code from your settings into this box right here, just using these little dials. Finally, we need to set our magnetic variation heading, and then finally turn the radar on. So if I turn the radar on now, doesn't really matter when we do it. It's not going to be active until we're airborne, but to set the magnetic variance heading, if you scroll back to our ground settings, so to set the magnetic variance, again, it's very similar to using the cap keyboard for inputting the latitude and longitude, but now that the INS has been set, we can go ahead and set our magnetic variance. In this case, it's plus 6.4. In order to do that, we go here onto navigation, and then marginal variance is selected. We've got the green arrow here. Now we can go ahead and use the keyboard to enter the 6.4. In order to do that, start with clear, and then you want to go to number 8 for heading. Set it as a positive, and 6.4. 6.4. Confirm that that's correct, and it is, and push enter. Thanks for watching this video, and if you have any thoughts, suggestions, please leave them in the comments box. If you like this video, give me a like, and if you like the channel, please subscribe. Hope to see you in DCS World.